And what happened is, because the majority has the consensus, everyone believed that they were not able to do it. It don't matter what these two side guys were saying, because y'all ain't but two. Y'all small in numbers. Y'all don't understand. If 10 folks say we can't do it and 2 say we can, I'm going to ride with the 10. Right? Now, God with the 2 is more than the 10 without God. I believe God outnumbers us with just one of himself. But he has the wherewithal to be divided into 3 parts. Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, right? And they are still one. So I'm going to side with God because I believe that God can and he will. Because why would he put me into a position that I'm not going to be successful in, right? Okay. So because of their disobedience to God, they are losing the blessing. God has not lied. God said that I can bless you if you do these things. If you don't do them, I cannot bless you. Why? Because you are undeserving of the blessing. Not only that, if God has the foreknowledge and he knows, he realizes that the children of Israel also are not ready to go into the promised land, but that's why he took them through the trip from Egypt to Mount Horeb. That was the learning process. Right? 10 plagues got me out. Now I'm backed up to the Red Sea. I got nowhere to go. My enemy is on the backside of me, and the Red Sea is my opposition, my opponent in front of me, right? They begin to cry because they're still learning who God is. I told y'all it's something about a relationship with God, right? You got to record this stuff. You got to know that God is a deliverer, that God is a keeper, that God is an encourager, that God will do what he said he will do if we do our part. There is a willingness to follow God. I'm here because I was willing to follow God. You understand what I'm saying? And even when I wasn't willing, God used my wife to make sure that I would be willing. And therefore, once he showed me that, I had to make a mental Rolodex note that, okay, God, you were speaking to me. Well, now my back is at the Red Sea. My enemy is there. And the thing that Moses said, well, God says to Moses, stretch out your rod. Right? Stand still and see what? The salvation means that he's a deliverer. He can keep you. Make a mental note. Make a note. God's a keeper, right? The Red Sea opened. They ain't never seen this before. I ain't never seen it. I've been on plenty bodies of water, and not near one of them waters have ever parted before me. Nor would the land be dry when I walked on it. So that's a lot that he's showing the children of Israel, right? They walk across. Once they walk across, the enemy believes that they can do the same thing. Why? Because they just saw someone else do that. But the enemy got in the water behind them, and all of a sudden, God stepped in. Because sometimes the enemy will try to trail you, but God sees the enemy. He wants the enemy in just enough so that you can see your enemy will bother you no more. And he covered them with that same water. Mental note. God got me. Now, we get to a position where we're hungry. We got no food. What does God do? He rains manna from on high. I've been around for 56 years. I ain't never seen no food fall from the sky, except for in that little movie when the burgers was coming. I forget the name of it, but burgers and everything was, or it was a cloudy day, meatball cloudy day, something like that, because I had kids, so I done seen all that stuff. I would love for a cheeseburger to come out of glory for me, though. I tell you, because that got to be the best cheeseburger I probably will ever have. But I've never seen manna, I've never seen food come from the heavens, but they did.